Hey guys, it's Kentee with Punisher's Paintball. Today we are going to go over some paintball news for you. If you like this video, please subscribe, and we'll see you after the intro.
Alright guys, so here we are. The month of December has come and is presently here. We're halfway through it, but we're bringing you some paintball news for kind of everything that's going on in the paintball world right now. So got a talk list here of things. First things first, I'll cue it off. The NXL is officially going to 4 national events this year.
Yeah.
Kind of a change of pace compared to previous years. Kentee, what do you think? 2 Florida events, a Chicago, a Philly event, and I think the one that everybody is kind of surprised by / mad at is that there's no Las Vegas.
No Vegas.
Right.
I'm personally excited. I think Florida is a great venue, personally. I think a lot of people can get there. I think it's convenient. So I'm actually kind of excited they're starting off with that. I think there's going to be a bigger turnout since it's not Vegas. I think that's the biggest issue is Vegas always has the lowest amount of teams there. I think that's going to change. Yeah,
there's a lot of Florida teams. I think there was a lot of West Coast attendance, but it made it hard for the East Coast teams to make it out to Vegas because of flight prices and stuff like that. But now the only problem with the way that the schedule is set up is that you've got one Cali event, you've got one Dallas event. So kind of feel bad for everybody in California because all the ballers in California, they only have one event, and it's not even a national major event. It's one of the toned down versions where the pros aren't attending. I think it's going to be curious to see in the meantime. They have the Astro Invitational this year, and that. So I think that there's going to be more of that appearing this year. I know that Chris Rangel with Under Paintball, he's having an event, but once again, East Coast, kind of surprising. Mike Hinman's doing a lot of good things over on the West Coast with WCPPL, so maybe his attendance goes up from this. I don't know. Be kind of curious to see what it's all about. But I do like the idea of starting it off in Florida.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a way bigger attendance.
Yeah.
Which is a great kickoff to the NXL season.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Most controversial thing on the list, Kentee. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Which one? There's so many.
Oh, we're covering some good topics today, actually.
Oh, this one. Increase in paint pricing. Oh, I think everybody's dreading this one. I think there is definitely some validation there. It's definitely going to be happening. What it's going to be at the end of the day, I'm not sure. We can quite guess that yet. Whether or not there's going to be less paintballs or a larger price, I'm hoping maybe we just do a larger price versus less paintballs. But then, if you're having 1,600 paintballs in a case, is that going to change the game in general? Are they just going to change all of the rules and go back to what it used to be with paint limitations, semi-pro? I mean, there's a lot, I think, that's going to be happening that could potentially make the game interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing has been determined yet. And I would like to say that our sources are unofficial. This isn't directly from the sources. We haven't had anybody directly come to us, but it's been around the rumor mill.
Lots of
speculation. It has been presented to me in the of certain brands talking about either increasing paint prices or vice versa, decreasing the amount of paint. And I like to point out that I don't think that this is a issue with the brands trying to be greedy. I think it's just a raw material general increase in pricing, as well as shipping prices have basically tripled across the industry for paintballs. So in that sense, something has to give. Up to this point, the brands have basically absorbed the extra impact.
The brunt of that cost.
Yeah. So now they're having to do something about it in 22, which is understandable. So we'll keep you updated. Obviously, you guys will know if there's a drastic increase in paint pricing, as well as if they go to 1,500 rounds. I think 16 or 1,500 rounds would be kind of interesting because when I go out and shoot, I usually buy 2 cases, and I usually only shoot about 3 at a day of practice. And I think that kind of goes for the majority of people. Like I practiced this weekend on Sunday, and I walked away with 2 extra bags. So 3,000 by buying two 1,500 round box cases would be kind of interesting, but we'll see. All right, Kentee, I'll let you talk about this one. HK Army and Dynasty.
I think this was a surprise for everyone, but I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of what this new adventure with JT. I mean, it was a sponsor, in the past. What are they?
That's old school. Way before I met you.
Exactly. So, what is JT going to bring to the table now that initiated this, change over to them? Are we going to see new products? The JT ProFlex in general is a really cool mask. Are there going to be new colorways? I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I love JT pants.
Yeah, and they might be bringing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either JT is going to brand around Dynasty, just like HK has done with Dynasty and Heat, or maybe Dynasty throws their hat in the ring with their own brand of, because that's been the other speculation is, they've already have the Force. Are they going to throw their hat in the ring with soft goods and stuff like that, or are they just going to brand it through JT? But it is cool to see Frazier. Last weekend I saw an Instagram post of him with some ProFlexes on with Yarber or somebody on his Instagram. So that was really cool and excited to see what they do with JT. Next up, V-Force Grill 2.0 released at Cup. So, very popular mask in the past. Retail price point is $130. Is that right?
Yeah.
So retail price point is $130 on these. Soft ears, etc. Really, there was hardly any releases at Cup.
I know, that was most disappointing for me. I was waiting for something big to happen. Granted, I think this is a great release. This mask needed to have some upgrades to it, and the upgrades they did are fantastic. I personally, prior to this, didn't really like the grill on myself. This feels way different. I love the extra space. I love the soft ears. I love that they didn't change the lens, so I can still, use your old lenses for this. It was a great upgrade.
I think so too. I think it looks really cool. Some people don't like the looks of it. I like the looks of this one better. I like the looks of the old one.
It still has that mean factor to it.
Yes.
It has that hard edge.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
So soft ears, replaceable foam, just by simply pulling it out. Easy to apply visor and pull out so that you don't have the O-rings like the old visor. I remember at Ohio last year, some dude came up to me and was like, "Hey." Oh, I know who it was. It was Ian. But needless to say, he came up to me and trying to wrap O-rings around the bottom of his visor up in here, and it was a pain in the butt. So needless to say, that's not a problem anymore. Same lenses. This is really flexible.
Yeah.
Had a friend, shout out to Yasser if you're watching this, but needless to say, Yasser last weekend, who's a big grill aficionado, likes how flexible it is and how breathable it is. So
yeah, they did a good job.
So that was released at Cup. So that happened, last month, but we haven't had a paintball news since then. So overall, I think the Grill 2.0 is a good mask. I think that I would spend the extra $30 to get this compared to the old mask.
Absolutely.
All right, speculation time.
Another one. I told you, there's lots of
I'm officially ready to put it out in the air, though. I'm officially ready to put it out in the air for a few different reasons.
Do it.
Cue it.
LV.
2. LV2. So there's been a few things that have happened that either I personally have heard or I've just seen on the internet or whatever the case may be about the possibility of an LV2. So I'm not saying it's happening, and Planet's probably going to hate me for this, but I think it needs to be aired out on YouTube. I think that we may see possibly LV2 in 2022, which is fitting. LV2.
I think it's perfect.
22?
Yeah.
So a few reasons for that. First off, July 2020, the name LV2 has been re-trademarked by Planet Eclipse. It's public information. Kind of interesting. The other major factor is we're going to attach a photo here. Sandbaggers, which is, I believe, Jack Wood's team that he plays with. It's called the Sandbaggers. They are the ones that always trial new Planet guns. And as you can see from the photo here, it looks like the ATP pipe is made up. It looks like the front grip, looks like the CS1 front grip, and the air-through frame of the trigger frame looks different.
It's going to be interesting.
So I think someone's out trial, and I think that they're definitely trialing some type of new LV platform. The question is it going to happen in 22?
I'm hoping. I think we're due from them.
Yeah.
I feel like we're due for a release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's been a couple years since the Geo4 and the LV1.6. It's about time.
Yeah, and like the 1.6 wasn't a huge transition, but they did adjust the pricing, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. Like they made it was $1,300 when it came out. Since inflation has happened, it's now $1,400 retail. Mm-hmm. But they made the solenoid serviceable, and they changed the barrel system that comes with.
They did. Yeah.
So overall, I think it's still a good investment, but the question becomes, it's definitely due for some upgrades.
That's what I was saying. I think it's happening.
So we'll see. All right, last but not least, you want to cover the scenario world?
Yeah, so Living Legends is going to be one of the big ones that are happening. It's going to be in Michigan at Hell Survivors. We are going to be there, so I'm super excited about that. I get to play myself, another exciting fact for myself. But it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of teams. I'm happy it's there. I think that's a great location. The people that run the field are really great. There's going to be Dee from the 13th who's going to be there as one of the generals, right?
Yes. He's commanding 13th Legionnaires is one of our sponsored teams, as well as Cleveland Iron League, which is one of our other scenario sponsored teams. Needless to say, they moved it from Chicago. Last year it was in North Carolina.
Yeah, because of COVID, they had to change that, which was upsetting because we were supposed to be there. It's going to be our first big event, and then it got pushed, and we just couldn't go there.
Yeah, and their attendance was low.
Low, I know. So I'm hoping that with this new venue here, with, Michigan being that state, I think there's a lot of people in that area.
That's true.
It's going to be easily accessible. There's going to be lots of really cool places to go there as well. So,
and I'm not sure if they're doing Bring Your Own Paint, but I know that like Hell Survivors does a monster game. Monster game is Bring Your Own Paint, so that would be kind of interesting to see whether or not they do Bring Your Own Paint as well. So that has officially been announced, so that's a big transition once again in the scenario world, because it's always been held in Chicago, and the last 2 years it's not changed up, which is kind of cool. So
I know. All right, another thing I'm really excited for that happened during NXL was obviously the women's expedition. So we had that Fire and Ice team. It was so much fun, guys. If you didn't get to go, definitely watch it. A lot of fun. A lot of great women came out and played. Some women who haven't been on the field in years and years kind of came back. So it was a really great experience. I thought it was amazing for women in paintball in general. And it looks like the following is definitely growing. I think we're going to have about 6 teams kind of throughout the USA. One of our own players, my girl Michaela, is hopefully going to be playing for Destiny USA. So we'll be rooting for her. So I'm super excited to see when these events are going to kind of coincide with the NXL events. I know that was kind of going to be the plan. Nothing's been released yet. So I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I think 6 teams is a great start. It's going to be its own league, is what we're hearing. It's going to be its own league, which is kind of cool. And like you said, 6 teams as of right now. It's going to bring girls in from all over the United States. Hopefully, it encourages other, females to get into the sport when it comes to, like our Michaela, in Cleveland. Maybe she's able to lure some more people in, and Michaela and I spoke about that, so that's good to see. It's definitely coming for 2022 with the NXL schedule. So we'll see what happens with it. All
right, guys, that sums everything up for us. If you like this video, definitely subscribe. If you guys have any comments, let us know if there's something else you wish for us to talk about maybe next month. We'll see you next time.